Hello, Joshua Crocker here, and I'm here to tell you about one of the stories from my comic book universe, Cosmic Comics, filled with superheroes, supervillains, and all sorts of craziness. I actually have a few comics right here. Let's see, what about this one? Oh, one of my favorites. Okay, we got Cosmic Comics issue 7, The Origin of the Superhero Society. So let's see. So first we start off in a small town in Oklahoma called Appleton, where 3 kids are hanging out together. You have Osage Redcourt, Stafford Savage, and Kathleen Volk. So they're just planning on, they're going to go hang out together, have some fun, but first Osage's aunt and uncle have to stop by their work at the science lab, where Osage has a bottle of root beer which he accidentally mixes up with a scientific formula. So when they get to hanging out later, they open up a root beer bottle and each take a sip. But it turns out to give them superpowers later on because it was really a scientific formula known as PES-17. And they would go on to be known as the superheroes Paragon, Steampunk, and Dove. Okay, so first, Osage Redcourt. He turned into a hero who wore all black, and he had this cool voice changer which would change his voice up, and he could turn invisible. But not only that, he was a really good martial artist, so he had all sorts of different weapons like these sais, nunchucks, a bow staff, a screama sticks, and finally his favorite weapon, his katana. He used his weapons and his martial arts skills in battle to help him stop villains and other criminals. The next hero is Steampunk, Stafford Savage. He wore these cool glasses and a top hat, and he could run super fast. He had super speed. Like, watch this. I'm glad that only took a second or two. And then lastly, you had Dove, Kathleen Volk. She wore this white suit, and just like a dove, could fly. I'll work on that. And together, the 3 of them were known as the Superhero Society. Okay. One day, they were going camping with some more of their friends at a cabin out in the woods. So they were just hanging out. No one knew that they were the superheroes known as the Superhero Society. But at camp, a few villains showed up known as, saying just won't work today, Speed Demon and Powerhouse. Speed Demon, just like Steampunk, can run super fast. And Powerhouse had the ability, he was super strong, like this guy back here. So when they got there, one of Oklahoma's natural enemies is the tornado. So Speed Demon ran super fast. He started a tornado current up that was ruining this countryside where the cabin was at. So the heroes, it was up to them to stop these villains. So Steampunk, he started running around in the opposite direction as the tornado to try to get it to stop. Paragon, meanwhile, went up. He faced Powerhouse, who would throw boulders at him. It was up to him to dodge. Luckily, his invisibility made it a lot easier for him to do that. And once he was done, he got up to Powerhouse, started using his weapons and his martial arts skills to beat up on him. And then finally, it was Dove's job to make sure none of the other people or animals at the campsite got hurt. So as they were flying out of the tornado, she would fly up and catch them. Once they were done, they returned all the people to safety, and luckily after that, the organization known as 80 showed up to put the villains in jail. They were all like, hey, you come with me. We're taking you to jail because you're bad guys. They were like, but then we can't come back for the sequel. Don't worry, someone would break them out later so they could join a team called the Unforgivables. Story for another time. So then, the three heroes, collectively known as the Superhero Society, return to their normal lives, hanging out together, sipping non-scientific root beer, and on the occasion, stopping crime. All from the stories of Cosmic Comics.